In this video, we will see how to evaluate variables in Jamovi. Let us first load our data set. In order to evaluate the normality of individual variables, we have to do three things. One was the visual evaluation of graphs, the other was the evaluation of indices, and the third was the statistical testing of the normality assumption. These are all done through the Exploration Descriptives panel. So we can choose which variables to do these for. For example, the matrices and the word fluency in kindergarten and word fluency in first grade. And the first thing we have to do whenever we have a variable we want to look at is the histogram. So here is the histogram for the matrices for word reading fluency in kindergarten, where most kids can't read, and the same in first grade. And to compare these distributions to the normal distribution, we use the quantile plots. So I check on QQ here, and I get the quantile plot for each of the variables. To get the indices that are associated with the asymmetry or symmetry of the distribution and the proportion of values away from the mean, I have to go and check on skewness and kurtosis in the distribution checks of descriptives. And the statistical evaluation of normality is done using the Shapiro-Wilk test. So the skewness of each of the variables is shown on this line. And you can see that the first and third variable have very low positive skewness. It is negligible. And the second one has high positive skewness. And the kurtosis is shown on this row here. So the first and third variable have very low negative kurtosis that we can safely ignore, but the second one has high positive kurtosis that we cannot ignore. And consistent with that, the Shapiro-Wilk test produces a low p-value for the second variable, which indicates that it is very unlikely we would have gotten this kind of distribution by sampling from a normally distributed population, whereas the p-values for the other two are quite high and no cause of concern. And that is all you have to do in order to produce the necessary information for evaluating the normality assumption in Jamovi.